Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Yasmyn.
And I'm Madison.
And this is MYLFS Podcast.
Also known as Madison, Yasmyn, and Little Friends.
So in today's episode, we are going to talk about what it's like to maintain friends with people our age that aren't also moms, because that's kind of been a big part of our life.
For sure.
Is relating to and being able to maintain relationships with people that aren't in the same stage of life as us. Recently, Madison and I were hanging out with a bunch of our mom friends, and it was so fun, hanging out with a bunch of other girls that are our age and also have kids. And then tonight, I'm going to go hang out with all of my other friends that don't have kids. And I feel it's just it's
a good balance.
Good balance. And it's just such a contrast of the relationship's so different, but both are so good, but in such different ways. So we're going to talk about that and what that's like. I feel most people our age don't have kids.
Exactly.
Or at least it's not as common.
Not really, yeah. And plus, then it'll give you insight on how to be friends with a mom as well. If one of your friends is pregnant, how to be there for them and kind of what to expect.
This is sort of the age that a lot of people are starting to have kids. So
yeah, or at least in the next few years, people are going to start to get married and have babies or, just big milestones in life.
So let's get into the question of the week. Question of the week is from Ale of Green Gables. I think we've done a question from them before.
Shout out to you for the best questions.
Okay, so the question is, does it ever get lonely being in a completely different place than most people your age? 100% yes.
I think so. It can if you don't have a community of people that you're normally with, that you can relate to. But if you don't have that, I'm sure it can get a little more lonely and isolating.
Yeah, I feel it definitely feels lonely, watching my friends that, I used to be super close with, just move on with their lives when I'm, we're just kind of going down different paths and, can't relate to each other as much anymore. I had friends that I would see, all the time, would come visit all the time, and now, obviously, we're, older, have more going on in our lives, they're in college, I have kids, and now we don't see each other as much, and I feel when we do, we just don't relate as much.
Yeah, plus I feel we're at that age where it's not we're as young as we used to be, so they're still in college, but they also are now to the point where they're getting jobs, big boy and big girl jobs. You know what I mean? So that's also something that their priorities are different because they're really starting their lives where our lives are already basically started.
Yeah, just in a different direction. So yeah, it definitely can get lonely. Or even just hanging out with people sometimes. Do you ever feel sometimes when we're out,
it's just
if we're
weird.
Yeah, say we're out at the bar and we're with all people from high school, or just out anywhere with people from high school, and feeling you are almost just alone there, you're surrounded by people, but you're alone because nobody else
literally
knows what it's like
when they see you or at least it's me, they'll be oh, how's your baby? I'm oh, she's good. And they're well, who has her? Or where's your baby at? And I'm with my mom.
Yeah. They just see you as a mom now.
Yeah, I'm I'm good too, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I can get lonely, which is why it's nice to have mom friends.
It is.
And also nice to have friends that aren't necessarily moms but understand and stick around and get it,
Even I feel there's some people that you're friends with and you can go months without seeing them or really having any communication, but then you'll see them for that one time and you still can connect on your same level that you used to months ago. You're just starting back up again. It's
exactly
not
just
weird
hitting
and
play, just hit pause and hit play.
It's just the same.
I was just talking about that with my friend Katie, who I just met, who's another YouTube mom, also has three daughters.
I'm so sad I didn't get to meet her.
I know, you missed out. But we were talking about how we kind of don't text people to keep up with each other, I feel with a lot of my mom friends, like you were saying, we won't communicate for months.
Yeah.
But then we see each other or text each other again,
normal.
And it's moms just understand not to feel bad because
you're not answering. Because you all know okay, they're busy, their priorities are their kids, their families.
Right. I was gonna text you back, but then my toddler did this, and then it was too late, and then if I go 2 days or no, a couple days or a week without texting
then
back,
you don't
then I'm
want
just
to text
I remember,
back.
but I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
it's gonna look weird.
Yeah. I remember somebody told me this story, and I can't say names. But it's not my story, it's their story. This one girl texted this one girl. It's gonna be big.
We'll call him, give him names. Names.
Sally texted...
Why was I gonna say Sally?
I think it's just like a normal thing. Texted Sadie.
Okay.
And about like hanging out. And then... What was the second one? Sadie was like didn't respond and just like totally forgot. And then like 3 weeks later, Sally, I'm trying to remember their names now, like did the exclamation point to the text
emphasized it. Yes. 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later, and then she's like, Sadie. Then was like, I can't even respond because it's been too long.
Yeah.
If you kept up with that, good for you, because I was not keeping up with myself.
I was a little lost, but then it came together. I feel that, Sadie. I get it.
It was with that one girl I hung out with at the playground.
I feel bad, but I also can't hang out with people that are too awkward and quiet.
Me either, because I am like that.
I know, so it's like, if you're not talking and I'm not talking, why are we hanging out?
I literally was so out of my comfort zone. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm just talking to a wall right now.
Anyway. So, let's talk a little bit about what our social circle and social life looks like now as 21-year-olds moms, where most people, quote unquote, our age are in their prime social time.
Yeah, college, going out, doing all those things.
Yeah, like right before everyone's about to get into like
big boy, big girl,
big boy work
jobs.
Life. What would you say your social circle looks like right now, other than me?
Yeah, I was gonna say just you.
It's not a circle.
It's just like a little. It's a line. I would probably say that it's like. It's a good balance, but I don't really have any friends necessarily that aren't moms. Like, I didn't have really friends before I became a mom. Like, I was such a loner. Like, I just didn't really, like...
Just introverted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after I had Sawyer, I wanted to make sure that I had a community, and I wanted for myself to have people to be around, as well as Sawyer. So, I mean, I kind of had to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and, like, make friends and try to, like, build my own community. If it was with moms or without moms, it's just a really big plus that I was able to like have people that were in the same stage of life as me.
Definitely.
But I feel like I'm open to having like friends that aren't moms. It's just like
it's fun. It's like the aunts and uncles.
Yeah. Like the fun ones.
Yeah, the funkles. I feel like it's kind of the opposite for me. Before I was pregnant, I was super social and extroverted. Like I just was always wanting to like hang out with friends and like have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And then when I was pregnant and like maybe right after Layla was born, I was like, I completely isolated myself. I was like, I don't want to be around anyone. It was also kind of a hard stage of life, like being really young and being pregnant, because that's like it's too much. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not hanging out with many people. So I would
you were new.
Yes.
Which made a difference.
Yeah, so I didn't really have that many friends, but I would see people every once in a while. After I guess Layla was a little bit older, then I was like, okay, I got more comfortable with like being around people that I knew before, or just like meeting new friends that weren't parents and were my age, and then like, I don't know, having a friend group of people that weren't also parents.
I feel like you also were forced to have like friends that weren't parents.
Right, I didn't really have the option.
Not
I was
many
in high
people,
school,
yeah, not many people had kids, or it was like hard to find people then that did have kids. So it was like, if you wanted to have friends, like
exactly,
you had to have normal friends.
So I guess it's not like I didn't really have to transition from like having a bunch of friends and then like them getting used to me being a mom. Like there was a few, but it was more just like I was like, hi, like I'm a mom, like, let's be friends. Here's my cute baby, and they were like, okay. Perfect. And it kind of worked out. But yeah, I guess like as time went on, now my friend group is more moms. But there are still those aunts and uncles there that like come
like
around.
Autumn.
Yeah,
Lizzie. Like I feel like you have a good balance of like
it's very
friend group wise.
But it's not to say that it's perfect. Like there are still a lot of times where I feel like they don't fully understand. I feel like the ones that are more around kids more, like have younger siblings and stuff, like understand what it's like more. You know, like when they come, like the way that they interact with the kids is different.
If they don't have like, if they're not usually around kids, you can tell because it makes people more like
uncomfortable.
They don't know how to communicate as well, or just like a little awkward.
Yeah, I had
like,
friends that
you're
like,
not around kids much.
I had friends that like were terrified of like holding the babies,
really?
like, or like my kids when they were babies.
Oh.
I remember my friend Mia. Do you remember Mia?
Yes.
She like, I think, held Layla for the first time. I was like, this is the first baby I've ever held. Really? I'm pretty sure.
Oh
I think it was her.
I feel like that's like a lot of people that like, depending on like if you're like the first sibling or the last sibling.
Yeah,
or even if you have siblings, like
right, or don't have a lot of little cousins. I've met a lot of people like that, and it's crazy to me because my family is full of babies.
That's how mine is. I was the firstborn, and I was like a mom to all of my cousins, all my siblings. So like I've been around babies my whole life.
Exactly. Starting from when I was 8, my cousin was born. One of my younger cousins was born, and then after that, it was like babies every single year from like all of the relatives.
Isn't that the best though?
It
babies
was fun.
Are the best.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then you have your own, and you're like, oh, this is not the same. This is not the same.
You can't get them back.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I would be so prepared, and I was not.
Yeah, it does make you like, you're like, oh, I could do this. Like when you're younger, be like, I could definitely be a mom.
Yeah,
like, it's so easy. And then when you have your baby, you're like, shoo.
You know, I would watch like with my cousin or my aunt and like that little cousin I was talking about. We would always watch like 16 and Pregnant, the MTV show.
Really?
And apparently, and I do not remember this, but my aunt told me that I would be like, I want to do that.
Your wish came true.
I know, but then like as I got older, I never imagined myself like having kids. I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna go to college and like party and travel, do all this stuff. But apparently when I was like 8, I was like,
it as an 8-year-old.
Exactly. Remember when we went to Florida like last spring?
Yes, we need to do that.
We do need to do that again.
ASAP.
But I feel like I am jealous sometimes when I see like people our age and like our friends traveling. And it's like...
Yeah, it's so easy for them,
It's so easy. And, like, we travel with kids. But even if we, like, travel without kids, we're just thinking about our kids. Like, when I'm on a plane, I'm like, oh, my God, what if the plane crashes and my kids don't have a mom anymore? It's just, like, it's the constant mom anxiety.
I get it really, really bad. Like, I'm excited to, like, if I don't have Sawyer, you know what I mean? And my mom watches her, to, like, either come to your house or, like, if we go out or something. Like, I'm excited, but then literally...
As soon as you're there, it's, like...
It's actually, like, for me, it's, like, leading up to it. Before I leave, I have such bad anxiety, and I don't want to leave. Like, I'm like, why did I make plans? I'm like, I'm about to cancel. And my mom's the one that's like... Don't
do it.
No.
She used to text me and be like, don't... Like, she was like, make Madison.
She texted you?
Yeah. Sorry, Leslie. I think it was your birthday. She was like, you need to convince Madison to, like, do this.
I was going to cancel. I was like, I'm not doing anything for my birthday. It was my 21st birthday, too.
Yeah.
But we did.
We did.
We had a good time.
We did have a good time. But yeah, I feel like I'm envious of how people our age, or like, I don't know, people who are not moms can like just have so much freedom. And even when we do get it, it's not like full freedom, you know?
It's not the same.
Not to say I would trade it for the world.
No, it's honestly the best to be a mom. Yeah. It's just saying, like, it's easier, you know, to do things because... Yeah,
for yourself.
Yeah.
It definitely is a lot of, you know, comes with a lot of sacrifices.
It does. And, like, when you are out or you're, like, doing stuff, like, without your kids, you still, like, check in constantly. Like, like, okay, how's the babies? You know, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? I try to, like, stop myself from doing that because whenever, like... Whoever my kids are with, whether it's, like, Logan's mom or, like, Logan's brother, whoever, I'm, like, I know that they are on top of it. So I try to just stop myself. I'm, like, I know they're going to text me if there's anything. So it's, like, there's no point. Like, I should know that by now. It's literally my mom and dad. Like, they have it handled. But it's just, like, that, like, I'm just going to check in just a couple more times. Thought. I also feel like that some people who don't have kids usually, like, they don't know or they don't think that moms want to, like, go and do things without their kids. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like my friends will sometimes go out and, like, they don't not think to, because they assume, which makes sense. It does. But also kind of is like, oh, you could have just texted. Maybe I had a babysitter. Like, even just, like, asking, even if we know, like, we don't want to or we can't, like, just to be invited or, like, you know, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Just like the little things, like, okay, well, they thought of me.
Yeah, exactly.
The thought is what counts. Like, oh, they wanted me to come.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe, like, I feel like maybe they think of it as, like, them being a bad friend by, like, saying anything. Because I could see, like, being in that position, being like, oh, I feel bad because what if they can't and now they're sad? Or, like, what if they think that I'm trying to, like, push them to go out when they can't do that? I don't know.
Even if it's, like, going to get lunch or something. Like, people are going out to, like, grab lunch, grab dinner or something, go shopping, like the littlest things. Like, you don't have to, like, go out and party, but, like, we would love to come.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it means a lot to moms just, like, getting the time to, like, be around other human beings. Like, I feel like most of my conversations throughout the day are with toddlers. And I'm like, I just need to, like, refresh my brain and, like, be a human again, like an adult human again. Get the mental
capacity back.
Get some brain cells back.
We can bring our kids too. Like,
true.
It's easy to just, like, okay, let's go, like, grab your stroller.
Surprisingly, in high school, all of my friends were so understanding of that, and Layla was just, like, a part of the group, which I feel like was so rare. But I actually just was kind of putting together a video of all of, like, my friends in high school and us just, like, hanging out with Layla. Like, we'd bring her with when we'd go to lunch or, like, whatever we would do.
I wish I knew you back then. I really do. Yeah. Especially, like, baby Layla.
I know. You missed out. She was so cute.
I did.
Now she's a whole human, like, adult teenager.
Really. At least I got to be there for, like, Millie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For baby definitely. Millie, watching her fully.
I know.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I was there for all three of them.
Honestly, she looks so much like Layla, so close enough.
She does look like Layla, but I think it's because she looks like you.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I feel like my plans, even now, whenever I do see friends, a lot of the times we end up just, like, sitting around the house. And I feel kind of guilty about that sometimes, especially because I have 3. So whenever people are like, oh, like, people are home from college, like, oh, I want to come see you. And I'm like, okay, like, they'll come and see me, and I'm just like, I don't really know what to do. I feel like I would get, like, stuck because I'm like, I want to spend time with them.
But I'm also...
Yeah, but I also have, like, 3 kids to take care of, so I'm, like, running around the house, trying to take care of them while also, like, trying to, like, catch up with them. I feel like it can be kind of hard, and, like, plans can be awkward if you don't have...
like, a set activity to do.
Yeah.
The things that you might have done before kids is, like, it looks a little different now.
Yeah, like, especially with multiple.
But yeah, just, like, come over and hang out and sit on the couch and catch up, or it could be, like, go to a park or go to the state park, like things like that. Like, it's not going to be like what you used to do. It's going to be changed, but you're still going to hang out with them and catch up, and like, plus then you get to hang out with, like, all the littles.
Yeah. So. I feel like you can also sort of, like, almost weed out the friends that were just your friends for, like, the purpose of being around people. Because once you can't, you know, just, like, do fun, crazy stuff and go to parties and stuff, then, like, you don't see them anymore. And then
they just kind of, like, disappear. You definitely find who your real friends are. Yeah. And, like, what their true intentions were.
I remember seeing a TikTok and it was like, you want to see who your real friends are? Like, have a kid and, like, see who sticks around. Everyone was like, I feel like there's better ways to find out
honestly
who your real friends are. But it's true.
Same with, like, boyfriends.
Yeah, true. But, like, that definitely
you really
should be a last resort. So I will say that when we do get a chance to, like, really go out, like
normal non-moms activities.
Yeah. Like, have an actual night out, like, not like, oh, just going to lunch for a few hours or, like, doing, I don't know, things that aren't actually, like, just free time for you. Because I feel like I do get a lot of that, especially because Logan and I are home with all the kids, like, you know, I'll have, like, a couple hours to myself to, like, work or shower or, like, whatever.
But I do not.
Yeah.
Sawyer showers with me. I mean, my parents obviously help a lot, but I just, like, don't ask, like...
Yeah, it's hard, because I remember when I had just had Layla and I lived with my aunt, like, I felt so bad, so I would just bring Layla in the shower with me,
exactly, I just don't want them to feel like they need to, like, watch her. Yeah. So, like...
And it's like you gotta, like, pick and choose when you, like, cash in the, like,
it's like I have,
grandparents watching them.
Like, tallies. And I told my mom that, and she actually got mad at me. She's like, really? Are you joking? She's like, I would never tally you up. Like, I wish I could have Sawyer all the time. I was like,
oh, Madison, you do not.
I was like, that's so cute.
What's the tally at?
I don't know. But that's, like, how I think. I'm like, what do I want to spend my time doing, like, this 5 minutes, or do I ask her, you know what I mean?
No, it's impossible to, like, not feel guilty about other people watching your kids.
Even though, I mean, I'm very lucky. My parents would, like, don't mind watching her at all.
So when we do get a chance to go out, like, whenever we go out or, like, I go, I feel like I take full advantage of, like, of being out and about.
I do too for the most part, except for lately. I don't know why. Ever since Sawyer's turned a year old, it's like Halloween. I'm like with you guys, and then I start thinking about Sawyer.
And you just go home.
And I literally just bounce.
Yeah.
And just like don't tell anybody. Normally, it's like either you go hard.
Yeah.
You know?
It feels like a double life. Like, it's like, okay, like 6 days a week I'm home, I'm a mom, I'm cleaning, like all the normal mom stuff, and then 1 day a week, like, this is what my life would be like if I didn't, like, choose to have kids young. And, like, I enjoy it for the night, and then the next day I'm like, okay, I'm glad to be back home, and just, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to take advantage of, like, that time that you do have. Yeah. And you might as well go hard.
Exactly. Go hard or go home. It's your one night. MYLFs.
MYLFs. I actually feel like I need to get better about that.
Yeah, but also, like, life isn't about going out and, like, partying. Like, it's fun, and I feel like it's easy for, like... It's an easy escape to, like, go and feel like we don't have responsibilities and, like, really, you know, let loose or whatever. Because, like, we've talked about, like, hanging out with people our age, it's hard to feel like we fit in, like, because nobody understands. So when we go out and, like, go to the, like, Starboard, like, go to the bar, go to Dewey, it's, like, easy to just feel like, oh, we're doing the same things as, like, everyone else, and, like, we fit in, and nobody would know.
But I literally do, like, once a month, and then I'm,
but
like,
that's fine.
I just, like, leave.
That's all that you need.
I'm kind of lame.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like I go too often, honestly. Like, once a weekend.
You go once a week, do you?
Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer. I feel like that's different, though, because all your friends, like, are home and stuff.
Yeah, true. I feel like I've just had years to catch up on. Like, I've been, like, the last, like, 3-4 years I've been, like, home, and everyone's been in college, I've been pregnant, like, everyone's at Firefly, I'm giving birth, like, so I'm like, alright, guys, like, I've missed out for too long.
I didn't even party, like, when I was, ever, actually,
like before
I was 21. Like, that's, like, the first time I've actually, like, had, like, going out experience.
Yeah. I feel like drinking culture is, like, a little bit toxic.
It is.
Because it is super normalized, so, like, also there's nothing wrong with it in moderation.
In moderation.
But it can be toxic. Because, like, I feel like our friends, not friends, but, like, you know, we keep saying, like, people our age.
They go on, like, benders.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how, like, if I don't know, I would just not be able to survive. But I guess also we have so much more on our plate that, like, but so do they. Like, how do people in, like, college weird. Do that?
They just don't go to class. We have a whole kid to take care of.
Yeah, like, we can't not show up.
Be, like,
we can't not show up for class.
Yeah. If you're hungover, you have to get breakfast and
diapers and
bathe them and get them ready for the day and clean up. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a lot different.
College seems hard.
I will never go to college again. It sucks ass. I swear. It is awful.
Yeah.
You will not catch me in a school ever again.
Yeah, same. Actually, that's not true. I feel like down the road, I would love to, like, just experience a college class, like, for fun.
You don't want to.
I don't?
No.
Really?
It's not nothing special.
You know what I always said I wanted to do is take one class on astrology.
Actually, that would
be people gonna make fun of me for that? Because I feel like that'd be fun. You know what everyone talks about, like...
I'm a Pisces. What are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
I feel like a Pisces doesn't really fit me.
I don't know, actually. No, I think so.
I'm not emotional.
You are emotional. You literally cried the first time we filmed the podcast.
Well, maybe I am a little emotional.
You're emotional, but, like, in a good way.
Are you crying right now?
No, I'm, like, laugh crying.
I definitely been, like, a daydreamer. That's, like, one of a Pisces. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just, like, off into space, and I'm, like, dreaming of different scenarios in my head.
I do the same thing. I don't even know how much I believe in astrology. Like, I do, but sometimes I'm, like, I don't know. Some of it's a little bit too much, which is why I want to take a class on it, because I'm, like, I know there's a side behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you take one, let me know all the details.
Because
I'm not going to take it, but I want to hear about it.
I'll fill you in. Okay. So when we do have those mom nights that we go out and, like, go all out, people probably don't understand, like, the process it takes for us to...
Yeah. Even if it's just, like, going out to lunch without our kids or something, it's still
anything
a process.
It takes to make a plan. Or,
to go.
Any plans that we make that...
to go out with,
leaving
like,
the house.
Non-friend, like, non-mom friends.
Yeah, or just with anyone, like, whether it's, like, leaving the kids or even bringing the kids. Like, just to leave the house is a whole process for us. Especially for me. It's, like... 3 kids dressed, 3 hairs done. Like, and this isn't easy. Like, it's not like dressing a Barbie doll. It's dressing like a
kid that doesn't want to be
puppy.
Dressed.
Yeah. And then, like, socks, shoes. I put Anna's socks on and her shoes on. I go to put Layla's on. Anna's taken both of them off already.
Millie's running around.
Yeah, it's like, it is chaos getting kids out of the house. And then also even just going out without kids, it's a lot to, like, obviously Logan, my fiance, is like on top of everything that they need, but I still feel like I have to, like, okay, like, make sure that they're good before, like, I go out without them. Like, for the most part, even if, like, I don't need to do that, I still in my head, I'm
it's
like,
just
okay.
like a mom thing. I do the same thing with my mom. Like, if I don't have Sawyer when I, like, go out to lunch or I'm hanging out with you or something, like, I'm like, okay, you just, like, run down the list. I think it's
they're like, I know.
Yeah,
but
and they
like,
look at you like, my mom's like, I've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Like, I know that, but...
Even for Logan, like, just now, he, like, went out with the kids, and I was like, oh, like, there's a blanket in the car. If Millie's cold, it's cold outside. And he's like, walked out, like, Yasmyn, like,
I know how to dad.
I do this every day. Just as much as you do. And I'm like, I feel bad. But also, I don't know, it's just, I can't help it.
Yeah,
but
no, I do the same thing. But, like, you also, like, if you're going with kids, like, getting them ready, but then, at least for babies, like, for me, I pack a diaper bag, I pack snacks, like, to keep them entertained, and toys, and, like, putting them in the car seats, and, like, making sure I have everything that's gonna be needed to, like, keep her entertained if she's, like, going to be sitting or something.
Exactly, it's a lot. Right now, this is a hard age, we've talked about this, but the age 1 to 2... where they're rough. Just, like, want to run around, can't communicate, like, going to a restaurant. Like, we've been out to restaurants a lot with Millie the last, like, week or so. And Millie in a high chair at a restaurant is probably the worst thing now.
It's chaos.
And I always, like, forget about this stage. Like, with Anna, it was also bad. I remember age 1 to 2 with Anna, I was like, I don't want to go anywhere with her. Like, I don't want to leave the house with her because she just, like, is wild.
Yeah. Sawyer, I mean, she's really good for the most part, but, like, she's so busy and she doesn't just, like, independently, like, sit and, like, play. Like, it's literally, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's being, like, lucky. If not, she's just, like, running around, getting into things that she's not supposed to get into. And then, like, you take it away.
Yeah.
And she's...
Tantrums.
Like, full on the ground, screaming. And I'm like, girl, you are 13 months old. Like, I don't need that attitude.
Yeah, seriously. Wait, what would you say your best, like, hacks are for entertaining her when you're out? Like, say you go to a restaurant or just, like, walking around with her in a stroller. Like, what are your best?
She loves the stroller. So if we are, like, out and about, like, walking, I have no problems. Like, it's easy.
Oh, that's nice.
But,
Really
like,
will not.
Sitting, like, and, like, staying in a specific area, it's, like, I bring all the things. Like, all the toys that she's gonna love. All of the snacks. I give her my keys. I know people are like, oh, keys.
No, I feel like that's all babies love to play with keys.
Cocomelon on my phone. Yep. Like, I know that's not, you're not supposed to give them TV.
Oh, no, but, in moderation.
Yeah, for, like, 5 minutes just to, like...
At a restaurant.
Yeah, keep her entertained and, like, not crying or not wanting to get out. Because, like, if she's in a seat, like, she just wants to sit in your lap or, like...
Yeah.
Hop to whoever's with.
Millie's been like this too, and it's like she doesn't want to sit still, and I, like, always forget, like, what I would do to help that, and so I'm trying to remember now, like, what to do with Millie, because I feel like nothing's been working lately.
Yeah.
And it's like, we give her food, give her a show, so I'm trying to find, like, there's, like, gotta be that, like, thing that's gonna keep her entertained.
I haven't found...
If someone has it, please let us know. What is it?
The specific thing I haven't found. It's just, like, a bunch of little things that, like, will keep her...
Yeah, every couple minutes you gotta throw something else in
it's like
there.
You have to, like, have a rotation.
Keep the fire going. Because it takes so much for us to be able to leave the house, especially, like, alone. Like, I remember the first couple of times I, like, after my most recent pregnancy that I, like, wanted to go out, it was, like, it felt so good to, like, walk outside, not be pregnant, not have any kids with me, not have to carry a diaper bag or a bunch of stuff. Like, especially newborn stage, like, you have to bring, like, I feel like my diaper bag was, like, stuffed with, like, all the things I needed. And it felt so good to walk outside with, like, just my wallet and my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so free right now. So, but there was times that I would make plans with friends that weren't moms, and, like, they would cancel on me, and it was, like, the end of the world.
That's the worst feeling when you have, like, especially a new mom where you really look forward to certain things too, especially if you, like, have postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. Like, those are the things that you have to look forward to something to, like, get to that point.
Right. I feel like that's one of the hardest parts about, like, the postpartum depression and anxiety. It's, like, you feel like you're trapped, like, and that's, like, exactly how I felt. Like, I felt, like, stuck. Yeah. Because, like, especially with having 3, there was, like, so much on my plate that, like, I felt like I was never going to get out of that, like, newborn stage where you're just kind of a mess. Like, obviously the newborn stage is, like, it's heaven. Bliss. Like, but it does feel like you can get stuck, you know? I feel like I couldn't get out of bed, like, half the time because, like, she's breastfeeding and, like, it's a lot. But
that's why, like, when you do create plans, like, for, like, a mom, you have to, like,
it means a lot more.
Yeah, and, like, being able to, like, stick with those plans does mean a lot to a mom, and especially a new mom. So, like, when friends, like, would ask you to go and do stuff, it was, especially at this age, like, it's usually, like, last minute, and I can't do last minute.
Yeah. Like, because you have so much you have to plan for, like we were saying.
And, like, I need to find somebody to watch Sawyer, which usually is my mom, but I always make sure I don't just assume my mom is going to watch her. Like, I make sure to ask her ahead of time and to, like, plan out for it because that's just being respectful of her time. I'm a planner. With, like, having a daughter, like, you just have to, it's not just, like, I can leave within 10 minutes. Nor is that fair to be, like, last minute on whoever's watching Sawyer. Then it kind of, like, hurts your feelings.
But I could have if you asked me, asked me earlier. Even an hour before or, like, whatever. Yeah.
Or, like, the night before or something. I can't just, like, leave. Yeah. Nor do I want to. Like, so it takes me sometimes mentally to, like, get prepared
prepare yourself
to leave.
For something. Yeah, 100%.
Because I get, like, nervous leaving Sawyer and I don't leave her very often. So, like, when I do, it's just, like, I have to mentally prepare myself.
Yeah.
It's just, like, hard.
It is. But it is so healthy to have time without your kid.
I always remind myself.
Yeah, it makes you come back a better mom. Like, if you go get refreshed, like, you need to fill your cup somehow, and, like, your baby isn't going to fill your cup. Like, yes, obviously, like,
to an extent
they do, and, like, it gives me, like, my kids give me so much joy and happiness. Like, being a mom gives me so much joy and happiness, but
to be able to be a good mom, you also need to take those, like, little breaks to just, like, still be yourself.
Exactly.
Like, I'm still Madison, you're still Yasmyn.
Yeah, like have an identity outside of just...
Yeah. So I try to remind myself that, like, it's okay to take a break without your babies or go do something without your babies.
Yeah. I remember there was a time when Millie was a newborn. It was, like, one of the first times I was going out without her. She was probably, like a month old or something, like, super young. So going out without her was, like, a big deal for me. I was just going to, like, I don't even remember. I think I was just going to lunch with a friend, or we were going... Sunset. I was going to Sunset with a friend. And we had made plans, like, a week in advance. Like, you had been saying, like, you gotta do, like, make plans in advance. And so then that day, I don't know, like, a couple hours before I start getting ready, and that was also a huge thing, like, getting yourself ready to go out, like... Postpartum is, like...
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal because you're like, what clothes even fit me? Like, I don't even, like, look like myself. You're like, what is going on?
You're still semi-swollen, too. Like, you're trying to find the confidence, like...
Exactly. So, it was a big deal. So, like, get dressed, do my makeup, like, all this stuff. And I'd been texting my friend, and, like, as I'm walking out the door, like, I text her, like, an hour before or something, a few hours before. As I'm walking out the door, I, like, text her to confirm, like, we're meeting, stops answering me. And I, like, was like, oh, no, like, my heart literally, like, sunk. Yeah, she stopped answering. And I, like, so I kind of panicked, and I was like, no, like, I just got all ready. Like, Logan's keeping Millie, which was a big deal, too, because, like, newborn, like, taking a bottle. I was, like, panicking. So I start texting, like, all my other friends just to see if anyone can do something.
You never texted me.
I didn't?
No.
Are you sure?
Promise.
Okay, I was probably, like, someone that's not a mom. No offense. Love you. So, yeah. And then nobody else could do anything. I think I did text you.
I swear to God, you did not text me.
Are you
when
sure?
you told me the story, I was like, I would have gone with you.
Aww. Dang, sorry.
It's okay.
I should have.
I should have.
Okay. But, so yeah, I texted so many people. Nobody could do anything. And I literally, like, I sat in my car and cried. I'm not even kidding.
I think you made a TikTok.
I did make a TikTok.
And that's what I saw, and I was like...
I'm literally gonna cry right now because I was so sad. I think I took my ukulele and I went and played it by myself. Or maybe that was another time. But there was literally, like... And that would happen to me. Like, I would make plans, they would get canceled, and then I would just, like, literally just do something by myself because I'm like, I have to spend this time away from my kids. Not working, not being a mom.
Just, like, Yasmyn time.
Yeah, which I would love to be with other, like, adults my age, but then, like, sometimes I just be by myself, and I'm like, well, this is really sad.
It just, like, Yeah.
But it's also good. I think spending time alone is also good.
It is. I actually really like to spend time, by myself.
But the worst part about that situation was that later on that night, the person finally responded with some excuse and then posted, like, hanging out with some other person. And I was very sad about it. I was like, wow, so they just completely blew me off for someone else. Which, like, means that if I, like, feel like before I had kids, like, I would not really care that much. I'd be like, oh, that's fake, but, like, whatever. But, like, as a mom, I was like, wow, that, like, really hurt. Because, like, they obviously have no clue how much it took for me to, like,
be able to go out and do that. Yeah.
So that really hurt. So don't do that to a mom, don't. Ever.
It just makes you appreciate the people who's going to fill your cup for you.
Exactly.
So
the friends that are understanding and are going to put in effort and care and understand that we can't necessarily put in that same effort because we have more on our plate.
Little babies.
Exactly.
Your feelings are definitely still valid when that happens. Like,
thank you.
Even though you know, like, oh, that's not your fault, it's theirs.
Yeah.
But it still, like, hurt your feelings. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, seriously, that's what I felt like. That was rough, but we're past that. It's fine.
Are you?
No. I still think about that and that's sad.
It is sad.
I also, like, wait, what?
It just, like, doesn't make sense why you would do that.
I know, and it's also just, like, it's one of those, like, things that I think back on, like, on the postpartum time. Like, I always try to remember the hard parts of postpartum time. Like, now that's something that wouldn't be that big of a deal to me. Because I'm like, okay, it's, like, it's easier now that my kids are older. So it's, like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, it was just, like, bad timing and they didn't understand. But I still, like, hold a grudge.
Yeah. She should have, because that was your third one. I know. She should know the process by now.
Yeah, true.
You're so much nicer than me. If someone, like, does anything, I'm like, you're done.
I feel like I give so many chances.
You do.
But then when I cut people off, it's like, they never know. Like, I just stop answering.
That's good to know.
If I don't answer you, just don't try again.
Okay. Just in case.
I don't know. I feel like some people, like, will say something. I just don't. Like, I give chances, and then I, like, won't address it. Which is also probably kind of toxic. Because, like, maybe it would be healthier to be, like...
It's just non-confrontational.
Yeah, I'm non-confrontational. So I'll give chances, and then, like, eventually I'm just like, all right, leave you on red. Yeah. But I feel like that's, like, protecting my energy, you know?
No, because you do have to do that. Or else they're just going to drain you.
I was kind of talking to one of my other friends about this the other night. Like, I'm having, like, a few little minor situations with some of my non-mom friends. Like, similar things we've been talking about. And my one friend was like, well, why don't you just bring it up with them? And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. No. Like, I'm not doing that. Because, like, it's almost like being in a relationship and asking for something that, like, you should be receiving anyways. Even if it's, like... Okay, this is probably an unpopular opinion because it's, like, kind of toxic to just, like, expect things and, like, not talk about it. I don't know. But I feel like I don't want to ask for stuff from people or, like, to be treated a certain way by people because then once I get it, I feel like I'm just getting it because I asked for it.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because...
So it's like saying, like, I guess, like, this is also normal. Like, me and Logan will talk about this, like, love languages. And he's like, oh, you should get me flowers sometimes. Like, and he'll say stuff like that. And I, like, totally appreciate him, like, telling me that. But I feel like if I was like, oh, you should get me flowers, then he's going to get me flowers. And I'm going to be like, oh, you just got me flowers because I asked you to. And then it doesn't feel, like, real. So same thing with friends. If I'm like, oh, you should, like, do this. And
some things that, like, you should expect from friends.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So it's like I'm not going to ask for it. And if you don't give it, then I'm just going to not ask you to hang out anymore.
If you don't give that to them, then, like, you're kind of a bad friend.
Yeah.
Like, then you're not a real friend. I don't have any non-mom friends.
Yeah.
So it's just Lainey, you, and Kayla.
What about, did you have any other friends before that you still talk to now? What about the one from Maryland, the photographer?
She moved.
Oh, well.
I'm not, like, I was never, like, really, like, good friends with her. I had to remember. But, like, her boyfriend.
Yeah. Oof. Red flag. If you're in a relationship and then stop hanging out with your friends because you're in a relationship.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other shit. He just didn't like me. Break up with him. That's what I told her.
Break up with your boyfriend. Is that what it is?
Break up with your girlfriend.
Oh, oh my god. Okay. Can't wait to talk about
boys.
Yeah, you guys stay tuned for the baby daddy episode and the SEX life episode. Ooh.
Yeah, I can finally talk about it.
Madison finally has something to talk about. As we've sat here and complained about all the things that our friends have done. I just want to say majority of my friends are so involved in my kids' lives. And, like, my kids, like, Layla, every year for her birthday, all she wants is, like, she's like, Mom, I just want all my aunts and uncles to come here. Like, that's all she ever wants for her birthday. That's so yeah, they have, like, been a huge part in my kids' lives and are amazing. And for the most part, so understanding. So I didn't want to sound like I'm like, all my friends are so terrible. But yeah. But and it is just also...
Yasmyn, Lainey, and Kayla, I love you so much.
Oh, I love you.
You guys are my family.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're my family, too.
I know. You're my sister.
We'll adopt you in Sawyer.
I was actually going to adopt you. My mom was going to adopt you, remember?
Oh, yeah. She should still adopt me.
I know.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Did you get baptized?
Yes.
Oh, I can also get baptized. They should be my godparents.
Well, you and Logan are going to be Sawyer's godparents, remember? I just have to get her baptized.
I cannot wait for that.
That'll be so cute.
I've never, like, been to a big... Oh, wait, no, I have. Not since I was really little. But, like, it's kind of scary. They just, like, dunk the baby in there. They just dunk the baby, and I'm like,
Huh. But, I mean, I've done that to Sawyer in the pool, like, to get her used.
True.
So, yeah, she's probably good.
Same thing. Should we swim in there in the baptism pool?
Yeah, she loves the water. She'd be like, let me swim in this holy water.
We should give some advice on, like, how to be a good friend to your mom friends. Mm-hmm. For anyone who has, like, friends who are, you know, pregnant, becoming moms. Yeah. I think that's something that is, like, confusing for some people and hard for some people to, like, know, like, how to react, how to, like, help.
What's right.
Be involved. Yeah, exactly.
I've gotten DMs before, like, look, my best friend is pregnant, and how am I supposed to be there for her? Like, how can I help her, but, like, not be too much or do too little? So, and honestly, just saying that and, like, asking
shows that they care
so much.
Exactly. I would say the best thing to do is to ask. Like, tell them, be like, hey, I want to be here for you. Like, what's the best thing I can do?
And them reaching out to somebody else to see what they can do. You can just tell, like, they're a good friend.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into, like, newborn stage, like, pregnancy, just check in all the time. Understand that a new mom or just, like, moms in general, like, when they're pregnant and have, like, a newborn might be a lot more distant. Like, at least for me, I know I was a lot more distant. Mm-hmm. So, like, checking in, like, texting, and just being like, how are you? How's the baby? How are you first? How's the baby? Mm-hmm. And then with newborn stage, like, being respectful about, like if you want to come see the baby, I feel like everyone says, you know, like...
The boundaries.
Yeah, the boundaries. Like, text and be like, oh, I'd love to come see the baby, like, when you're comfortable.
I feel like also as, you know, someone who wants to be friends with a mom, or especially a new mom, like, you just have to have understanding that, like, their priority is now, like, their baby or their kids, their family.
That's kind of a forever thing. Mm-hmm. But especially, like, newborn stage, it's like you're gonna be pretty unavailable. And then, like... I don't know, even for me now, like, as time has gone on, I feel bad because a lot of my friends put in effort to see me all the time, and I feel like I can't put in the same effort. Mm-hmm. Like, my friend Macy, she'll be like, oh, come out, like, come do this, and I'll just be like, oh, like, I really can't. Yeah. And I feel bad because she always, like, makes the effort to come to us. Being friends with a mom, like, make sure you stick around for them. Like, even when it feels like they can't be there for you, stick around for them because they just, need, like, it the most.
Like, little things really matter. Like texting them just to check in, like,
sending them a gift. It's like all dependent on, like,
coffee.
Like their love language and your love language. Like, if you like to send gifts, send gifts.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty easy. You just have to, like, just maintain effort, you know?
Yeah. All right. I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening in. If you have a mom friend out there that you haven't checked in on in a while, this is your sign to go text them and say, hey, how are you? Send me a picture of your kids.
Make sure to follow us on our other social platforms and our Instagram.
And stay tuned for weekly episodes.
Always dropping Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.